Good morning, everyone. This is me, Abhilasha, your favorite VRC mentor, and I am back again with yet another episode of Mornings with the Hindu. So, of course, you already know that I've been teaching for the last 22 years, and I come to you live every morning at 9 a.m. And also, we'll be starting the 9 p.m. sessions from today, the daily CMAT live. So, do make sure you're joining me for that also. CMAT has been postponed to maybe April now, and therefore, we are restarting the CMAT sessions from now. Okay, so connect with me on Telegram using Abhilasha English or connect with me on the Unacademy Plus Learners app by you finding me. My name is Abhilasha Swarup, so you can find me there by that. If you haven't yet downloaded our Unacademy Learners app, do make sure you use AbhiCat as your referral code or your download code and download all the free courses, the free classes, the quizzes, everything on the Unacademy Learners app. Here are some of our amazing results. Our own Piyush Pratik smiling away for you guys. New batches coming up 16th February. We started the 1.0 expert batch classes from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day going on right now. 18th February, the absolute weekday morning batch, and 19th February with the very sweet Bhagyashree ma'am taking up VRC. Oh, 18th February also Bhagyashree ma'am only is taking the VRC. So it's going to be very, very exciting. Alright, weekly scholarship test. The next scholarship test happens 21st February. Combat. Do make sure you're joining us. To unlock, use my referral code ABHICAT. Alright, 10% off also. Alright, here are so many of these courses. These are 3 of my courses. The PYQ papers, 1000 PYQ, the legend batch on the weekend, and VRC expert batch on the weekdays for vocab and grammar. Let's get started. Dizzying climb on retail inflation. The latest retail inflation readings should, on the face of it, offer monetary authorities a fair amount of comfort, given that the consumer price index, the CPI, rose by 4.06 in January, marking a deceleration for a second straight month to a 16th-month low. Inflation appears to have cooled after having stubbornly stayed stuck above the RBI's upper tolerance threshold of 6% for 6 months through November, helped by an appreciable softening in food prices. Specifically, the Consumer Food Price Index reflected a gain of mere 1.89% last month as vegetable prices saw a disinflation of 15.8% and cereal prices eased considerably for a second month in the wake of Kharif crop arrivals. The RBI in its monetary policy statement this month cited the bumper Kharif crops, rising prospects of a good Rabi harvest, larger winter arrivals of key vegetables, and softer egg and poultry demand on avian flu fears as factors that augured well for the months ahead. But the central bank was mindful of the risks too, especially with regard to food costs, where the latest data had brought to the fore concerns over the prices of pulses and edible oils. While inflation in pulses and products was at 13.4%, that for oils and fats stood at 19.7%. Eggs and meat and fish, two other key sources of protein, both posted double-digit rates of 12.9% and 12.5% respectively, with price gains in the former barely registering any telling impact from the avian flu outbreak. Now, with favorable base effect beginning to wane, inflation moderated by more than 100 basis points in February 2020 to 6.58% before slowing to 5.84% in March. The outlook is far from reassuring. Of particular worry is the trend in input costs for multiple sectors in the real economy, including manufacturing. From automobile manufacturers to builders, rising raw material costs are beginning to force them to pass on the impact to the end consumers, and this at a time when demand is still to gain a firm footing. The latest IHS Markit India Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index PMI points to the sharpest increase in purchasing costs for more than 2 years as a lingering supply side squeeze fanned inflationary pressures and manufacturers raise their product prices at the fastest pace in over a year. Added to the mix, the unrelenting and dizzying climb in transportation fuel prices to newer and newer record highs in recent days, and the outlook for inflation becomes distinctly darker. Diesel, the main fuel for freight carriage, has now exceeded rupees 80 per litre and is bound to feed into prices of almost everything being transported across distances, from fresh produce to intermediate and finished industrial goods. With banks still flush with liquidity, policymakers need to maintain a strict vigil to keep inflation from resurging and posing a threat to macroeconomic stability. So CPI has risen, inflation appears to have cooled down, double-digit inflation in food sectors, input costs are rising and the fuel costs are rising, and all of this will have its impact on all sectors of the economy. All right, let's take a look at the first question, everyone. Which of the following is the theme of the passage? Inflation has grown to over double digits. Inflation is going to be a threat to economic stability. Inflation cannot be allowed to be a danger to macroeconomic stability, and rising costs of raw materials is being transferred to the customers. Alright guys, come on quickly. Let's take a look at this question. What is the correct answer? Meanwhile, let me say hi to everyone. Adi, good morning. Shreya, Pragyan, Hari Om, Anamika, Akanksha, Avdhi. Good morning, Razia. Good morning, Ankit. Good morning, Kusum. Yes, Kusum, this passage is from the Hindu. Hey guys, everyone, please like the session. Quickly. Like. I need you all to like the session also. Inflation has grown to over double digits, but that is not the theme of the passage. Inflation is going to be a threat to economic stability. Okay, I'll put a star on this. Inflation cannot be allowed to be a danger to macroeconomic stability. That is what the writer is saying. So let me put a star on this also. Rising cost of raw materials is being transferred to the customers. Hey, this is not the theme of the passage. So let's eliminate this. The writer here, let us understand what the writer was trying to say. The writer was saying that inflation is growing, but if we don't control inflation, then there will be a problem, because all the macroeconomic indicators are going to show the fact, or are going to point to the fact that the economy will be in danger, and therefore the best answer is C. Okay, so yes, so C is the correct answer. B is part of this, that inflation is going to be a threat to economic stability, but the writer also says that we cannot allow this inflation rise to become a threat to economic stability, especially with the kind of a situation that we have been over the last 1 year. So therefore B is part of what we have said, but it is not the correct theme of the passage. The correct theme, of course, is C. Okay. So I don't think any of you have got it right. Pragyan had D as the answer, Shreya B, Muskan D, Shubhajit C, Adi said C, yes, all right, very good. Okay, each of the following is true as per the passage, except, remember I told you that true plus except is always going to be false. So let's quickly find out which of these is true and which of these is false. So CPI rose by 5% in January. Inflation has slowed to 5.8% in March. Price of diesel has gone above 80, and inflation in eggs, meat and fish was above 12%. Very quickly. So which of these is false? Very quickly tell me. Waiting for your answers, guys. Guys, सब लोग please like कर दो. Very good. Shubhajit, very good. I always get my first correct answer from Shubhajit. This has been happening over the last full month, that my first correct answer is coming from Shubhajit. Yes, the correct answer is A. Inflation in eggs, meat and fish was above 12% is true. Price of diesel has gone above 80 is also true. Inflation has slowed to 5.8% in March is also true. CPI rose by 5%. No, it rose by 4.06% is the only one that is false. And therefore, A is the correct answer. C nahi hoga. So Shubhajit, very good. Khemka creation, very good. Yes. Remember, we are looking for the one that is false. Inflation has slowed to 5.8% is mentioned in the passage. Okay, CPI rose by 4.06% is mentioned in the passage. So therefore, clearly this is the one that is false. All right, diesel, the main fuel for freight carriage, has now exceeded rupees 80 per litre. Oh ho 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 ho. All right, what is the tone of the author in this statement? Very quickly. So it cannot be nostalgic because nostalgia means remembering the past. Maudlin is sentimental. Sarcastic is, of course, mocking someone. Has risen above 80. Has now exceeded rupees 80. Dekho. Factual, of course, yes, is the correct answer. Shreya, the question was has gone above 80 and it has now exceeded rupees 80 per litre. So how is that incorrect? Right? Okay. All right. What is the meaning of lingering? Accidental, steady, continuing, or reflexive? Yes, very good. Meghna, Razia, Ankit, Kusum, Pragyan, Anamika, Adi, Shreya, Shubhajit, Hariom. Very good. Yes, you guys absolutely got it right. Wonderful. Each one of you got it right. Guys, like kar dena please sab log. So what is the meaning of lingering? If something is lingering, I have a lingering pain in my back. So yes, something that is continuing. Yes, very good. Very good, Anamika. Reflexive cannot be the correct answer. Reflexive is something that happens uh, as a response. So that cannot be the correct answer. Okay. So continuing. Lingering means something that continues. Therefore, correct answer C. Cannot be D. What does resurging mean? Does it mean slow, speed up, relax, or fade? Fading means waning or going down or slowing down. So this cannot be the correct answer. Relaxing, of course, is easing. That cannot be the correct answer. Speeding up, of course, increasing the speed. And slowing, of course, cannot be the correct answer. So the correct answer will be speeding up. So I hope you get that. All right, deceleration. Slow, cooled, of course, again slowed. Upper tolerance threshold. So the maximum acceptable level is upper tolerance threshold. Okay. So let us say the range of something is from 5 to 10. So the lower tolerance threshold is 5. That means minimum itna hona chahiye. And upper is 10. That means that is the maximum acceptable level. So that is your upper tolerance threshold. Appreciable softening, something that has visibly become soft. Okay. Or easy. All right, disinflation, when inflation goes into the negative spiral. So negative inflation is called disinflation. In the wake of aftermath. So in the wake of the Kalinga war, Ashoka became very pacifist. Okay, in the aftermath. Brought to the forefront, highlighted. Okay. Pragyan, how cute. Wane, to slow down. Pass on the impact. to shift the burden on someone. Okay. So what does the builder do? He passes on the impact of rising cost onto the customer, right? So he shifts the burden of the price of increased raw material pricing to the customer. Firm footing. So having a strong base. Unrelenting, unstopping, unceasing. Dizzying, something that causes you to faint. Freight is transport of goods. That's freight. Flush with liquidity, having lots of money. Liquidity means cash. Right now, because banks, all businesses have ceased operations right now. So the banks have a lot of money. They are not lending loans to anyone. No one is taking any money. So right now the banks are flush with liquidity. They have lots of money. And the minute there is a lot of money in the economy, that gives rise to inflation. So that is what they were saying in the passage, that you have to stop this thing that banks have a lot of money, people will get a lot of liquidity. So that will give rise to inflation, and we have to stop that. Okay, this was a lovely passage, guys. Do read it up once again in today's Hindu, the first editorial. This one is okay. So read, understand, the economic indicators are very important, and this is something that will have an impact till next year. Remember, when you will go for your GDs and interviews also, this will still continue to have an impact, because if this inflation goes up, then Indian economy is going to be in a lot of trouble. Alright guys, remember to learn all of these words so that you can do your 3650 words for the year. Schedule for today is very simple. We've got the 9 p.m. CMAT session on. We've got the 9 a.m. Hindu. At 3:35 today, we have the Maset batch and CET and CAT 21. You know that at 6 p.m. we are doing the past year papers, and at 7 p.m. we are doing words in the 1.0 expert batch. So do remember to join me for each one of these batches, guys. I am looking forward to lots and lots of interactions with you all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Adios, my amigos.